Batesville, from Greenville, Amory, all over the area say we'd love to be there. We can't get there because of the storm. We understand that. And I will take full responsibility. We tried this in January, and we had a nice storm. And we tried it again tonight. We had a tornado warning. So we're not going to try it a third time for sure. Thankful to all of you guys for being here. You're in for a really cool night. Always good food, always good fellowship. Some of my favorite people on the planet are in this room. And we're going to tell you about a record-breaking year we had last year at RCLF. Truly amazing things to talk about. And so let's get started. I'm going to ask one of my dearest friends for the last, I don't know, too long, right?
Yeah.
Niecy Matthews to come on up. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She's coming up. She is a pastor of church in Corinth, Mississippi. And that's an extremely important part of what she does. But she is also one of the chief advocates in the state of Mississippi for inmates at both that North Mississippi prison system up there and also the jail in Corinth. She spends her Tuesday mornings counseling with and consulting with and advocating for those that most people just would prefer to ignore that are up there. And you have graciously offered to say the blessing and get our meeting started tonight. Would you want to do that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we do honor you and thank you in the name of Jesus for this day. We thank you for every blessing that you've given us, Lord God. We thank you, oh God, for our time with this organization, this wonderful RCLF tonight, Lord God. We just pray that you will bless the presentation. We thank you that your hands is up on this organization. We've seen it year after year, and we know that this year is going to be even better than before. We pray that you will bless our food, cover us, and keep us, Lord God. We thank you that even the storm has passed over. And so we just glorify you and we honor you. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Great.
Amen.
But I'm going to try to keep that energy up tonight. Those of you that may not know as much about us as others, I will tell you, because we have several people in the room that have never been to one of these CAB meetings before. RCLF is a nonprofit 501c3. We're not a bank. We're not a depository. Our goal is to help first-time home buyers buy their first home, especially those that have been told routinely no when they've sought to buy their first home. Our goal is also to help Mississippians and Alabamans create, develop, and expand small businesses in our states. And many times, those individuals too have been told no, countless times by countless other people. And so our job is to help. How do we help? We help in two ways. One, we help through education. I'm blessed, and you're going to hear from most of, or all of us, I'm sure, before the night's over. All of the coaches that work on the commercial side with us. We have 4 folks that help coach and help with credit repair on the mortgage side. So there are 8 of us in the organization that spend every day educating our neighbors. And that's a true blessing. We accomplish those goals through education, but we also accomplish it through lending. And it's a major part of what we do. The next slide is going to tell you a story that is truly hard to believe. Since the first day of 2020, RCLF has loaned $103 million plus. Almost all of that is in the state of Mississippi, because we've just moved into the state of Alabama in the last several months. So most of that has been accomplished right here in Mississippi. A nonprofit that has to raise every dollar to lend a dollar loaned out over $103 million in the past 6 years. And the numbers on that screen are truly remarkable. 1,236 loans closed, 57 million. For those of you that don't do math like me, that's more than half. So over half of the dollars that went out went to female borrowers. Almost a third, roughly a third, went to African American borrowers. And you can see 2,650 jobs created and all that coaching time that we've spent with clients. And then on the maps, this is truly remarkable too. This is just in the past 6 years. We've covered the entire state of Mississippi. RCLF was created to help rebuild the Mississippi Gulf Coast after Hurricane Katrina. So we started out down here in these lower 6 counties. Over the past several years and branched out to literally cover all of Mississippi. The blue counties are counties where we have funded projects. The green counties are counties where we've coached either business owners or homeowners or both. But in really 1 year in the state of Alabama, look at how much territory was covered just in 2025. All those green counties represent counties where we coach, and all of those blue counties, 9 in whole, we were able to loan money for projects in just that last year. So we are currently doing incredible work in Mississippi and really, really grateful for the work that we're able to do now in the state of Alabama. How do we do the work that we do? Well, the next slide is going to show you all of these people who come alongside us. These are just a few of the partners that we work with in order to meet the needs of homeowners and business owners in our 2 states. So literally some of these you're going to recognize, even some local banks, right? So we have a ton of banking partners that either join us, hey Jessica, how are you? They come alongside us to either loan us money so that we can lend it back out to other folks, grant us funds that we can then turn around and help other people, or partner with us on deals. So a lot of the projects we work on, a bank will do part of the deal, we'll do part of the deal to make the deal happen. It's a way for us to get a no to a yes. And it's a major part of what we do as a nonprofit lender. And then all of these education and resource partners here in the middle, we couldn't do what we do without them. To give you an example, I'll tell you a little bit about Compass later. We just did a video series about how to start a business in the state of Alabama. And we did that in partnership with Balchin Bingham and Alabama Extension. I don't live in Alabama. And even though I was Assistant Secretary of State in Mississippi, I can tell you, Dee, there is absolutely little between Mississippi and Alabama that correspond. Okay, it's very different over there. So we went and partnered with some of our resource partners to do those 6 videos, which is very effective to get business on. Can't do it without these folks up here. So if you recognize some of them, thank them when you see them, because certainly we can't do what we do without them. So the next slide is going to tell you a few of the accomplishments. So let's start with this big accomplishment. Check this out. NeighborWorks America, which is a national organization that is chartered by Congress to support organizations that help home buyers and help educate future mortgage holders, came to Gulfport, Mississippi, along with United States Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith in April, and chartered RCLF as its newest member of this national organization. It took several years. It's not an easy process, is it, Denise? Very difficult process. We're incredibly proud of this accomplishment. That's some of our board leaders. Here's our CFO, Chuck Wall. Here is our CEO, Kimberly LaRosa. Very proud moment. If you go to YouTube, to the RCLF page on YouTube, you can see actually the whole charter ceremony. And it's incredible to see and hear from leaders outside of the region talk about the accomplishments here. Now, while I'm talking about mortgage for a second, because last year was all about mortgage. We talked about St. Jude Dream Home at this meeting last year, and that was a really cool meeting. In 2025, just last year, roughly $13.5 million went out to help first-time home buyers. $13,488,318 to be exact. That money was invested in 80 first-time home buyers. This is where it really gets interesting. 80 first-time home buyers were able to buy their dream homes last year. 22 of them. 22 of them. That's 27.5%. Bought their first home in Washington County, Mississippi. Just Washington County in North Mississippi. And the lady just a little responsible for a lot of that is sitting right back there at that back table. Bridget Winters. All 22?
Yes.
All 22? For your client?
I'm sure. We closed a lot last year
Yeah.
with your company. I closed 58 myself,
Wow.
so 90% of them with your company. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much. That, by the way, dollar for dollar is 21%. So 1/5 of all the dollars that went out the door last year to fund mortgages came through Bridget as a realtor and went to Washington County. And I think there may be 2 more from that area, maybe Sunflower County. There was more than that. That's just Washington County. So thank you so much for that. This video, hopefully the sound's going to work. But this video is going to tell the story, a little bit of a story about two of the folks that bought homes. Those of you
when we saw this house, what caught me was the outside picture and also the kitchen. I love to cook, so this is my baby. Our journey to become homeowners, it was a little difficult because we were so used to renting. We used to live apartments after apartments. We were like, we're gonna renew our lease again, so it's gonna go up another 150, and so we decided to, it's time to buy a house.
We're not only teaching them to be financially fit to purchase a home, even after you purchase that home, we want them to be financially fit for their future, save for retirement, still be able to live comfortably once they are retired.
Working with RCLF, we didn't have to give a down payment because it was already rolled over to the home. The only process that took long was looking at houses. Other than that, it was boom, bang, bang.
RCLF has this in-house home buyer assistance process, and it allows us to have a relationship not only at the beginning as we prepare the client for home purchase, but throughout the life of the mortgage, that they have someone that they can call, seek advice from, talk to about potential issues that they're having.
We were also talking about the first buyers program, and that RCLF also does it. That's how we got the help that we needed.
I wanted to be a homeowner because I realized paying rent, I was basically paying off someone else's dreams instead of building on my own. I loved everything about the house. I loved the location. It was where I wanted to be. Everything was perfect about it for me. I chose to work with RCLF because the helpfulness every step of the way, I mean, they were wonderful. They were very understanding as a first-time home buyer that I didn't know what I was doing.
If you're planning to become a first-time home buyer, RCLF recommends that you attend one of our home buyer education class or someone else's home buyer education class. You'll learn a lot of steps of what you'll go through in the process. You do not want to go in blind when you're purchasing a home.
I actually received a $20,000 help grant from FHLB Dallas, and I also received a $7,000 grant from Mississippi. The $7,000 went towards my closing costs, and the $20,000 I was able to put with my down payment to build more equity walking into my home.
One of the most rewarding things for me is seeing that client succeed. Seeing their face when they see the difference for. That what I'm teaching them is working.
Yeah, I'm building something that will be mine, something I can potentially leave to my children. It's everything I wanted. Anything that I put into this, I know I will get back out of it.
Find your good and also get educated and get your dream home. This is a beautiful place and I love it.
This is a really neat story. So our CFO, who's been with the company now, I don't know, 15 years or so, our CFO ran for the National Board of Directors of a major organization called the Opportunity Finance Network. Okay? OFN, we're a part of OFN. Chuck ran for the National Board of Directors on this slogan, loyalty to the underdog, with this dog being the mascot of the campaign. And he won. And so our CFO is now serving on the National Board of Directors of an organization that supports us. It's an incredible opportunity for us. And it's a great opportunity for our clients also. But to have somebody from Mississippi represented on the National Board of Directors of an organization that oversees CDFIs in the country is an awesome honor. And it's a huge feather in the cap of our organization. So we wanted to make sure to tell them, this is just last year, all of this thing. Oh, but it's about to get even better. About to get even better, because now we're going to tell some stories.
For over 100 years, the store had been associated with the Ellis and Oswald family. So it's really an honor to us to be able to carry that on, even though we're not members of the Ellis and Oswald family directly. They've really supported us in keeping the store going and for the community.
Nestled in the heart of Mathiston, Mississippi, stands a building that's more than just bricks and mortar. Built in 1910, Mathiston Hardware and Building Supply Company is a cornerstone of this community. A place where stories are told, memories are shared, and legacies are honored.
We've heard a lot of stories from people over the years. Their first rifle came from the hardware store here in town. So we hope that the future of the store will really just be continuing on the legacy that was built.
The Ellises and Oswalds didn't just build a store, they built a place for the people. It was where you'd go not just for tools and supplies, but for advice, friendship, and a sense of belonging.
It's always been a community that has a lot of do-it-yourself folks. So it's not always contractors that are in here. So it's kind of a hub on Saturday mornings of a wide mix of people.
When the time came for a new chapter in Mathiston Hardware's story, RCLF, a Mississippi-based private nonprofit lender, stepped in to help the vision become a reality.
They really seem to want you to be successful, you know, from the get-go, and like Brad said, they provide you with those resources. We're glad we were able to do it, and that was possible just through the support of RCLF, you know, with all those resources and things that they provide us with along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't say enough about RCLF. Anybody that wants to be a small business owner, that really should be your first stop. They provided so much support to us and continue providing that support to us.
RCLF is on a mission to empower people to become successful business owners. By partnering with aspiring individuals and equipping them with the necessary skills and funds, they are continuing to help dreams turn into realities.
So this business started in 1910 and would have very possibly ended in 2024 if it had not been for two guys. And one of those two guys is here to speak to all of you tonight. And you guys drove through some torrential rain to get here, and I'm so thankful. They weren't even allowed to go in Sam's Club. They were trying to get in Sam's Club during the tornado warning, and they wouldn't let them in. But Brad Huffman, will you come on up and share with everybody? Brad and his business partner, Ken, do it. Downtown, Mathiston, Mississippi, and it is the center of the universe there, and we're so grateful to partner with you. So, yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me. How many of you guys know where Mathiston, Mississippi is? There are a few, man. You've probably been through it. You just didn't know. Oh, there's a good chance. But so I know I only have a few minutes to tell a story of a business that's been around for over 100 years. I got to correct Jeremy just a little bit. The building that we're in was built in 1910. The business was actually started, the hardware business was started by Mr. Noah Scarborough Ellis in 1970 in a little community just south of town called Sherwood. I'm not going to ask you to put your hands up, you know what that is. Okay. But, so just for perspective, my grandfather was born in 1919 in Sherwood. So that's how long it's been around. That's one of the original family members of the store. That was Chip. So Mr. Noah moved the business into this building that you see in the 1920s and has been there ever since. And they rarely had the opportunity to do upgrades or maintenance on the store. It was day to day, 6 days a week they were open. It went from Mr. Ellis to his son, Mr. Ellis, And then Mr. Ellis's nephew, Marcus Oswald, took over in the early 80s. And that was what I remember growing up in the 80s. So I grew up just south of town in Sherwood, going to this store. You'll see it doesn't look like that. Anyway. It was gonna close. Marcus had passed away. He didn't have any kids. His wife had been in the business with him since the early 80s, and she was ready to retire. Chip called me, the tall, slender guy you saw earlier. We actually went out to eat. He told me it's going to close, and it just broke my heart. But at that time, I didn't think, man, I should buy the hardware store. You know, that was probably in February, about a month after Marcus passed away. So late that summer, we passed a hardware store going on a canoe trip, and I thought, man, it would be fun to make sure Oswald, as I know it, Ellis Hardware continues on. And I mentioned something to my wife, and she said, yeah, why not? And I looked at her like, who are you? Where's my wife? Because I had worked in healthcare, and I still do, for the last 20 years. So kind of on a whim, Ted was riding behind me. We stopped to get gas. I was like, hey, let's buy a hardware store. He said, why not? Where is it? And so the process kind of started. And we reached out to a couple of lenders. One told us real quick they weren't interested. The second one led us on for a long time, 2 or 3 months, and finally gave us a no. And Ted's brother, Corey, works here in town, and he knows John Michael. And said, hey, you guys should call John Michael. So Ted gave him a call one day, and he said, hey, this might work. And so we were at the time working on our business plan, and so we were able to get that over to him pretty quickly afterward. And once we did, the ball really started rolling. We met Jamie, who we were pretty much in contact with on a day-to-day basis. He's out of the Gulfport office. I haven't been there, just in spirit. But Jamie was great. We talked for hours and became really good friends going through the process, but it was just great. He walked us through it. We did this unique partnership. It was unique at the time. I didn't really understand that at the time, but it was through the Mississippi Development Authority. Is that right? I get that right? And so I think when we closed, Jamie was telling me this is a one of a kind deal at the time. I don't know if it's been duplicated since, but we needed capital, and we were getting roadblocks everywhere we were turning, and we needed a lot of capital. As you can see, the building needed a lot of repairs. It's almost 20,000 square feet under roof. The original brick part of the store was about 4,000 feet, and it all needed an overhaul. And we were able to partner with RCLF to purchase the building, the business, do the overhaul, and as well as buy all new stock and supply in the store. We had a great partner through a company out of Memphis called Orville, and I can't say enough. I could go into way more detail, and I could stand up here for an hour and tell you all the little unique things about that store and what it means to our community. I just couldn't see it. Couldn't see it close. Is that enough time? I don't want to go too long, but I can keep going if you got any questions. I can plow for a while. An example would be when our dream of opening the store was just a few weeks ago when the ice storm came. Jamie messaged me on a Tuesday night and said, hey, can you get a generator? Maybe. I hadn't stocked any. So I looked on my website. Yep, I can get one. I said, it should be here Friday. And so I went ahead and got, I think, 10. And kind of on a whim, just thinking that people may need them. So sure enough, they came in, Jeremy came and got his, right away. And I think they came in around noon or so, and by 4 o'clock, they were all gone. And so we had just converted our phones from desktop phones to cell phones, so I could take the phone with me. So we put that out on social media Saturday. Hey, if you need something, call the phone or message the phone. Well, Sunday morning, we woke up after all the ice came in Saturday afternoon, evening, and probably by 7:30 we were getting messages and calls. And so we spent all day at the store Sunday. So just serving the community in that way is just a dream come true.
Yeah. Any questions for Brad?
So are you full-time medical still, or are you splitting time, or?
Yeah, I'm full-time healthcare. Yeah. I'm an RN. I went to nursing school back in the mid-2000s and got into operations and management. Right now, I'm actually working for a health plan, a Medicare Advantage plan. So I do that, able to do that remotely from home. I live 3 miles from the store, so if I need to run up there during lunch or anytime during the day, really, I can have the flexibility to do that. Chip, the tall, slender guy, like I said, his grandfather started the store. Chip's a retired engineer from AT&T, and he came back and started working in the store around 2005, 2010. He didn't really want to own the store, but he wanted to keep working there, thankfully. So he's our store manager, and he handles so much of the day-to-day. But yeah, there's me and my little Captain Morgan. So it's just neat I wanted to keep the store as original as in my mind as what it was when I grew up. But the floor was in such bad shape that those were original pine floor joists that had been there since 1910, and they needed replacing. So we ended up completely going back to the dirt and actually pouring a little concrete and redoing the floor. And when we started removing the drop-in ceilings, when we got back to the original beadboard ceilings that were 20 feet up there, and they were in pretty good shape. So we just did a little bending on them and painted them and really took it back to what it originally was when the building was built in 1910. That big window that I'll stand beside was one of the original storefront windows. When it was wooden storefront, we found that in the attic, and so we were able to incorporate that in.
Dan? RCLF is a nonprofit community development financial institution, which means that we build communities through our coaching services and also through our financial services. Someone who's seeking financing to create, develop, and expand a small business in Mississippi or Alabama, we're the perfect place to come because we have financial counselors that will help you if you need help with personal budgeting, if you need help with a credit repair. We also have business coaches who work with you from everything from the concept stage through business planning, goal setting, and even investment in your business to ensure that you're successful.
Gulf Spore is a mushroom farm and biotech company founded in Mississippi. And I founded Gulf Spore because I adore mushrooms, because mushrooms are like nature's great recyclers.
You know, just through getting to know the people at Gulf Spore and their passion for the products that they were creating and the research that they were doing, they really sold us on the business and what they were trying to do. From getting our funding through, the SBA and the supplemental funding enabled us to buy our farm in North Mississippi and all the equipment that we need to do our farming and our R&D that we've been doing, to having our own brand designer, to having our own brand mentor. Our relationship with RCLF has been absolutely fantastic, and I can't recommend them enough.
Things are changing in the funeral industry and how a lot of people are looking for something more of like a venue setting.
We were just a funeral home, and that was the intention. But when we got in here and started clearing out the land, and then we just started thinking really that, wow, like it's so beautiful, it could be so much more. So we've had everything from birthday parties. The high school, did their freshman formal. We've had weddings.
Our customer built this very nice facility. We partnered with RCLF to provide a second lien on the property to lower the bank's loan-to-value exposure, allow the customer to get the necessary capital needed to finish the project.
I meet with them about once a week, and we go over how they're doing, what they got planned, some of the problems they're having. Then every month I sit down and run cash flow projections for them.
A project like this, there were so many things that came up at the end, issues with that come about in construction. RCLF has just been there helping work with our other bank and just everybody working together to make this dream come true.
We purchased the nursery directly from the owner through an owner finance. Interest rates were fair, but it created some cash flow challenges.
We didn't want to change what this business had to offer. We just wanted to try to make it a little bit better.
RCLF is my first call for capital planning for my businesses because being a nonprofit, they're able to do things and get creative and partner with different agencies.
RCLF's more than a lender. We're here to support your business through our coaching services and our lending services. We've worked with such a diverse group of businesses in the past, and we look forward to investing our time, energy, and funds into your business to ensure your success in Mississippi and Alabama.
Partnering with RCLF has allowed us to put resources towards expanding and growing the business to where now it's put us in a better position to continue our growth and continue to expand and provide a better future for not just ourselves, but also our employees.
Yeah, so RCLF is here to give you the knowledge and the skills that you need to become a successful business owner. We're here to partner with you long-term to ensure that you're successful at becoming a first-time home buyer or a successful business owner.
I hate my title. The only reason I am the senior business coach is because, number one, I was the first one they ever hired.
That's why I went.
And these geniuses hired me. I said, well, what will I do? And they said, we don't know. You're going to make it up. So I made it up for you. Also, I'm the oldest employee at RCLF. And I did not dye my hair gray every morning. All right, this is natural. So like I said, I'm really offended, this age discrimination. I get to talk about one of our clients, Brandy Brown at Gulf Sport. 2 years ago, March 7th, I got a call from Jamie, one of our lenders, and now the director of Lincoln. He says, hey, I got a business plan I need you to look over and just give me some advice on. Well, I was pretty impressed that, hey, he needed me to look this thing over and give me some advice. And then I realized I was the only business coach they had. So he had no choice. He had to look at me. But anyway, he sent me this business plan. In fact, I brought it with me. And the first thing I read, I saw specialty mushrooms. So I thought, aha. Because I'm a child of the 60s, he just assumed that I know all about mushrooms. And trust me, I don't. I only have psychedelic thoughts about once every 6 months. And hey, it's groovy, baby. It's really groovy. But I want to, y'all to bear with me. I want to read you the first paragraph of this business plan. In 2022, more than 54 million Americans were food insecure due to lack of consistent access to nutritious food. At least 1 in 4 children are food insecure in the United States. As a mother, a disabled military veteran, and someone who was found who had food insecurity as a child, Dr. Brandy Brown was motivated by these metrics to leave academia and after earning her doctorate degree, to create a company devoted to confronting this food crisis. After serving as an officer in the United States Air Force for 6 years, Dr. Brown desired to continue serving her country and realized that her unique set of skills could be applied to fight a different war, the war against food insecurity. As old saying goes, you had me at hello. When I read that, I knew this is somebody real special. This is somebody who really fit our mission, what we want to try to do as far as a company and helping people. But then I had to go over, I had to continue reading as I read this, and I had to kind of look, well, who is this person? And this was not intimidating at all, but she, her background, let's see, I got it right here. Well, I don't read it. Bear with me, folks. I know I should put a sticker on this thing. Page 11. Here we go. Okay. All right, here it is. Now listen to this. She is a biological engineer who specializes in the bioprocess engineering of agricultural residues for biotechnical application. All right? During her time as a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Nebraska Industrial and Agricultural Products Center, Dr. Brown initiated the strategic plan and research for a $6 million grant aimed at employing a sprayable biomulch engineered from local waste. She accomplished a project in Mississippi State University, and as a former intelligence officer in the United States Air Force, she also has extensive experience in leading teams. Well, one of the challenges we have as business coaches is getting people to listen to us. And I'm thinking, oh boy, I struggled at Ole Miss, and I'm dealing with this person that has a doctorate in bioengineering. But what little did I know was that you go back to my 1960s, Frank Zappa, most of y'all probably never heard of him. He was a musician in the 60s called the Mother Invention. He had a quote, "A mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it's not open." And I can assure you, Brandy's parachute was wide open. I've never been around anybody that literally absorbs information as much as she does. Now, that was 2 years ago. Let me read to you what she's accomplished in 2 years. She was a recipient of the Farmers Veteran Coalition Award. She was the National Stephen L. Tadlock Veteran Business Award. She won the Venture Catalyst Startup Accelerator Award at Mississippi State. She placed first in the Mississippi Made Pitch Contest. She placed first in the pitch contest here in Tupelo, which Judd was very instrumental in. She was named as one of Georgia Tech's top 40 graduates under 40 in 2025. She is recognized as being one of the top veteran-owned businesses by the Small Business Administration. And just recently, she was honored in the Growth Accelerators category by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce CO 100 Awards as one of the top 100 small businesses in the United States. That's in 2 years. Now, one thing that is interesting about her whole mindset is based, and I've got a quote right there, "Be very clear with the vision, but flexible with the plan." So I want to walk you through what has happened over 2 years and how she has lived by her vision, but being very flexible with the plan. When I first started working with her, her goal was to sell B2B, C2B, consumer to business or business to consumer on the website. She wanted to also sell mushroom extract for health reasons, raw mushrooms, and mushroom capsules. Well, as she got into it, she quickly realized that, well, I probably need a change. And she decided that she needed to take the market and focus her products on the extracts and on what she called a grow kit, which Gina designed a grow kit for. And she came to me, she says, "I need you to do some research for me. I want to get into grocery stores, big drug stores like Walmart, or like Walgreens, I want to get into people like Target, Walmart, and I also want to get on Amazon. Can you do the research for me? And I said, sure, absolutely, be glad to. So I did the research. She also is a very strong believer. She always wanted good, bad, and ugly. And I gave her the ugly. I said, Brandy, you're making a mistake, big time. You're trying to grow too fast. She said, well, what about if I go to local grocery stores or local regional grocery chains? Well, I immediately thought, what I got to do to help her is I got to use the resources at RCLF, and I got her in contact with one of our good clients. If you ever go in the Kroger stores, you'll see a product called West End Fresh Chicken Salad, and that was by one of our customers. And he is at that time was in 400 Kroger stores, and Winn-Dixie stores, and Piggly Wiggly's across the southeast. And I called Bruce and I said, would you mind if you could talk to Dr. Brown? Here's what she wants to do. He said, I'd be glad to. He talked to her for 2 hours and gave her the good, bad, and ugly. And she came to me and said, Wayne, I don't have to bail on that one. I said, Brandy, I think it's smart move. So then we got talking about it. She said, I want a franchise. I think I offer franchise. I want to keep the consumer to business website, but I think I want a franchise. I said, okay. Your number one problem is you don't have a track record to be able to go to the franchisee and say, if you do this, this, and this, and this, therefore this is how you get your business growing. Which that's a mushroom term. So she decided what she was going to do, and this was in the fall, or back in the summer. She decided that she was going to go after the farmer's market business, and guess where she decided to launch it and try it out? Right down the street down here at our local farmer's market at the depot. I'd go down there on Saturday when she and her husband would be there, and I'd just kind of stand around and kind of listen to what she was saying and how she was presenting the product, and just kind of gauging the response of the people. And literally every Saturday she was there, after about an hour and a half, she totally sold out her production. People were just absolutely just soared with this. So the next thing she said, give me some recommendations on a national franchise company. Help me franchise this. So I did some research for her, gave her a couple of recommendations. She chose Roy. The next thing she did, she said, I want you to look at the contract. So I said, great, I'll take a look at it. So she is now franchising the product. She's got, right now, I think 4 pretty interested people to have a franchise. And what's unique about what she's doing, she's franchising this concept either as a homegrown business or as a commercial business. And it's very unique because everything's grown indoors, very controlled. All the products all have been tested by third-party companies as far as their purity. And so she's got this. She's also put together, I love this, a shroom school. Okay? That's another mushroom term, in case y'all didn't know. A shroom school. How to grow another mushroom, like your business. She just recently started an affiliate program that you go online with her, sign up, and you use your social media to help promote that product. And if your people, your friends use her and contact her and buy a product from them, you get some revenue from it. Really smart. From there, she hooked up with a company called Function Health. Function Health is a data-driven wellness testing to deliver patient-specific mushroom supplements recommendations. And basically, you send a blood sample into them. They'll analyze it and say, hey, this is some natural products that you should look at to help you with your arthritis, cognitive problems or whatever. So she's hooked up with them. But what's amazing is she has never lost sight of her vision. Her personal war against food insecurities and food waste. She originally developed a product called My Dip. M-Y, capital M-Y-D-I-P, My Dip. My Dip is a product that she developed when she was doing research in Mississippi State that you can take and spread over produce, and it extends the life of produce 4 times. She received an award or a grant from the National Science Foundation Small Business Innovation Research, they call it a SEED program, to fund the development of My Dip as a natural mushroom-based food preservative that she developed. She now has been awarded a second phase of this research, and we're talking about millions of dollars to help market this product throughout the United States. But unfortunately, the funding has been put on hold because of the government shutdown. To quote the press release from the seed funding, Gus Forrest fungal innovations could be a game changer. Once again, I refer back to this quote. Be very clear with the vision, but flexible with the plan.
Step in. So they received 45 submissions from 18 states from projects ranging from 70,000 to 75 million. And after a lot of consideration, 2 stories made it to the top. And one of those winners is right here in the room with us tonight in North Mississippi, in Shannon. Amazing Child Care and Learning Center in Shannon, Mississippi. Now, before I tell you about the financing and the impact of the story, I want to show you something. Because if you really want to understand Vanessa and Nathaniel Young, you need to understand one very important thing. They will do whatever it takes to protect the children in their child care. And I mean that quite literally. So I'm going to share a short video with you that perfectly illustrates how far Vanessa and Nathaniel go to keep the children safe, including unexpected squirrel intruders. And let me just say, the squirrel picked the wrong center. It's funny, it's real, and it perfectly captures their spirit. Hands-on, fearless, and completely committed to these kids. So it's a quick video, but it's perfect. Daniel is in the background showing a lot of support. Not slowing down.
He really is. He's going really fast.
That's right. So now that you see firsthand how seriously they take safety, even from wildlife, let me tell you why this story matters so much. So when the long-term director of one of the only licensed child care centers in Shannon prepared to retire, the community faced a very real possibility that the doors could close permanently. And for most towns, losing a child care center isn't just inconvenient, it's a ripple effect. Parents can't work, employers struggle, children lose a safe and nurturing place to learn and grow. So for Vanessa and Daniel, this wasn't just a business opportunity, it was very personal. So as the new owners, they needed financing for real estate and working capital. Where traditional lenders saw risk, RCLF saw opportunity. And it didn't stop with financing. Over 18 months, RCLF provided more than 90 hours of coaching to ensure a smooth and successful ownership transition. The impact of their story is that over 125 children continue to have access to licensed childcare in the rural community, and 17 jobs were preserved with 2 additional jobs being created. This is what community development funding looks like in action. It's not just capital, it's partnership, it's believing, and it's standing in the gap, sometimes even chasing a squirrel right out of it. So please join me in welcoming the incredible award-winning owners of Amazing Child Care Learning Center, Vanessa and Nathaniel Young.
I'm gonna go back and, excuse me?
You beat him again.
I bring up the rear.
So, my story goes back like
years. I am a registered nurse also, and I've been nursing for like 20 plus years. And my desire was something different. You know, while I was nursing, I wanted to own my own thing. I wanted to be my own boss. And so that's what I chose to do. I went out on a limb, and we first opened an adult daycare center first. And we kept that for like, I think it was like 7 years, 9 years. And the adult daycare center, it was okay, but it just wasn't bringing the income that, you know, we needed to keep it afloat. And so we were looking for another avenue to make more income plus enjoy what we were doing. And so we decided to, well, first we tried to go out on a limb, and we had this huge project that we wanted to do. And we presented it to Jeremy, and Jeremy talked to Jamie about it. I mean, it was huge. We wanted to do personal care homes, and I think we had like assisted living and some more stuff that, you know, it was a lot of things that we wanted to do. That project was over probably about $5 million. And we could not find, I couldn't show the profit for what we were wanting to do. And so, you know, they told us no on that, but he told us why that was a no. And so we understood why it was a no. I wasn't happy, but I understood that they were looking out for us and them, you know, and I understood that project. So we didn't give up then. We wanted to do something different. I was like, well, you know, it's got to be something out there. And one day I was going to visit a client while I had the adult daycare center. And the client, when I got there, she was like, I said, well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do the interview with you and go ahead and get the assessment. And, you know, we'll start probably next week if you could do that. She said, well, I'm not going to even start. I'm not coming. And I was like, well, why did I even come out here? And she was like, well, I told them I wasn't coming. And I said, well, okay, well, so are you sure? She said, yes. I said, well, I'll let them know tomorrow that, you know, you kind of like don't want to come. And so on my way back home, I felt totally defeated because, you know, I was just going out seeing different clients, but they was saying that they don't want to come. Or if they do come, it's going to be one day a week. And that's how we get paid. They have to be there for us to get paid. And so if you come in one day a week or one day a month, that's not helping us. And so I was like, well, shoot, I don't know what to do. So like I said, I was so defeated. And on my way home, I thought about an old lady who had talked to me when we first started the adult daycare center. And I told her, you know, just remember me. If anything ever come up, just remember me. We was wanting to buy vans from her. That's the only thing we wanted to do. So for some reason, it was like God led me to her. And on my way home, I didn't go home. I stopped at her center. And we were sitting there talking, and I was telling her how we had the other project. And before Jamie and them, it was another company that wouldn't finance us. But the reason they would finance us, but the terms to me were just wrong. Because they was wanting us to pay, they wouldn't give us enough money, first of all. They wanted us to put our home up for mortgage. And it was something else. It was just way too much.
Everything we own, they wanted.
Yeah, and I was just
that's
like,
collateral.
yeah, and I was like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're just not gonna do it. And so, you know, that's when we contacted Jamie and them, and Jeremy was so good with us. I mean, he was just like, more like a brother, you know, he was like, let's talk about it, let's do this. And Mr. Wayne was good, and there were several more, you know, and Miss Gina. Gina was so good. I'm serious. Whatever we needed, we could talk to Gina about it. She created our website. She created our logo. She created whatever you need her to create. And it's always professional. You know, it's not liking anything. You just give her the information you need, and she'll make it happen for you. And we love Gina for that, you know, because she's been really, really good. Whatever we need, she'll take care of it. And that's not just with us. It'll be with anybody, you know, if you need her to take care of something for you. And then after I went by and I talked to the lady, we were sitting there for a while, and I told her, I said, I'm just so upset. And then before that, we had also looked at another daycare, and we were getting ready to close on that daycare. We were supposed to close that day, and the lady pulled out and said she didn't want to sell. So I was tore up about that too. My heart was just gone. And so I stopped at her center and I told her what happened. And she was like, oh, really? And, you know, we just kept talking. I guess we talked for about an hour. And she said, you know what? And I said, no. She said, well, you want to buy my centers? And I was like, are you serious?
All of them.
Yeah, she said, every one of them. You can buy every one of them. And I was like, I don't know if that's right. You know, are you serious? Because she's been in business for years, and she has been like the most paid daycare around here. So the daycare, we went ahead and we purchased 2 from her. They're side by side. One is empty right now because we got to figure out a way to put a preschool there. That's what we want to put there because we have the daycare, so we want to put a preschool in that area. And so she was like, yeah, just get both of them. And I was just so excited because I knew from the past that was a multi-million-dollar daycare. I'm not talking about 2 or 3, I'm talking about 10 and more coming from that daycare. And so she was like, well, just, go ahead and buy it from me. I was like, well, okay. And it took us a while. And she gave me the blues while we were waiting. I mean, she harassed us. This was every week. It just broke my heart because we went to Jackson during the time we was waiting to get the loan process because we wanted to be directors of our center. So we went to school for it. And the school usually takes 9 months to go. But we went for, we went 9 weeks through a fast track. And we had to drive to Jackson 2 days a week, plus take care of the adult daycare center, plus deal with her. And so she was like, well, I don't believe you. I don't think they're going to let you have money. And I said, well, they told me they were. They gave me a letter. And she was like, nah, I just don't believe it. And it was just like every day. And that was weighing so heavy on me because I was just like, it made me nervous because I felt like she was trying to sell it to somebody else, the reason she kept saying it. And then she would call me some days and be like, this guy called today and offered me money for it. And I was like, oh, okay. And but I would be tore up at the end of the day. So this went on for a while. And so when time came and, they were ready to close the deal, she couldn't believe it. She was like, I just didn't think they was going to give y'all that much to buy these daycares. And I was like, yeah, they did. They took care of us. And so when we closed, it was just a very joyful time because, we had prayed for that. And we knew that if we, did what God wanted us to do and stayed in line with him, that our time would come. And so our time came and we own 2 daycares.
So, first off, I'm in the back again. I'm coming up with my I took a swing at the square earlier, but it was kind of like from the side.
He ran from the square.
He ran from the
square. He got back and looked at it like this.
But what she did say, we had RCLF and I at our disposal. No one had ever heard of RCLF. They didn't believe.
Yeah.
They're like, they're not going to give y'all that money.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
That's what she said. She said, I ain't even heard of that bank. That's not such bank.
It's a bank. I said, no, it's not a bank. It's a non-profit organization. Try to explain. But anyway, we just thank everybody from RCLF for making it possible for us. Seeing our dream and vision along with us, it really helped. And when I try to speak now, I try to think about my purpose.
Yeah.
Instead of my pain.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's okay. Go ahead.
Coming from the inner city youth, I grew up without. We didn't have what everybody else had. We were homeless at times, but I never gave up. My mother, she was a strong lady. She never let us give up. 8 siblings, sleeping in a car, 10 below zero, outside of a Catholic church. They would feed us breakfast, lunch. We couldn't stay all night. But they supported us and gave us everything we needed, from clothes to everything. But the impact, this child care center in our neighborhood, all of our friends attended this place, and it gave us something to do. We didn't go hungry because of this place. We found, activities, and we went to camp every year, twice a year. And so it impacted my life to the point to where I saw myself as a kid now. So I'm not crying about pain, it's about joy. Gina know, Jeremy know, every time I tell the story, I cry. I work for squirrels too, I don't care. But at the end of the day, they helped me to the point where I know the kids are looking up to us. If I can tell the kid, look, it's okay. I'm gonna make sure you get something to eat. If you need some shoes, we're gonna get you some shoes, because that's what was done for us. And just because we were on welfare,
we didn't stay there.
Right.
All of my friends, we were inspired by people that worked at this daycare center. I have a brother, battalion chief. I mean, he's a battalion over the fire department in St. Louis. Have another best friend, he's over boys' home in Florida. Have another one, he has a basketball travel league in Killeen, Texas. All of us were inspired by the same daycare. Wow. We are best friends to this day. We've been best friends from then. So the reason why I say that, me, I'm a barber. I've been a barber for almost 40 years. I'm only 49.
Okay.
I started cutting hair when I was 11. So all my little friends at the daycare, guess what? I cut their hair. $2, $3, whatever. But it honed my career and it gave me sustainability to where I could come to the table with my wife to RCLF and have everything that they needed laid out to prove that we can do this financially, spiritually, you know, and everything. So I really appreciate you all. I hate to get up here and cry on y'all. I do. But it is what it is. Hey, and I made it through it. I didn't want to say that because every time I talk about it, but you know, like I said, it's not tears of pain, it's joy. Anybody can make it through. All you have to do is try, believe in God first, listen at what God tells you. I never really seen, even though I knew the background I came from, I never seen myself being a daycare owner until those obstacles came into play of us being denied of this project and that project and turned down from this loan and turned down from that loan. And meanwhile, we had a great, wonderful team working on our behalf, which is RCLF. Jeremy, Gina, Jamie, Mr. Denise, Mr. Wayne. Every time we came by there, they were so friendly. They were eager to help us. Every conversation we had, we learned 5 years of information. So we're able to talk to other people and encourage them and tell them, look, if you're ready, I got somebody for you that'll go to bat for you and help you with your venture. So I really appreciate it. I'm not gonna hold y'all longer. I appreciate everybody. We love you all, and thanks so much.
There was one more thing too. You forget you talk so long.
That's true.
I kind of felt like God put me at the daycare because when I was younger and I only had 2 kids, every summer I kept my nieces, my nephews, my cousins, their friends, and they would come to the house every summer. I didn't know God was grooming me for this daycare, teaching me patience with these kids. And we would take them to Disney World, you know, the old regular van. We all would just get in and just go. And so I had no idea. I thought that my mission was to be a nurse. And if I have to, if push come to shove, I still can do it because I still have my license and I know how to do it. But I'm enjoying the child care a lot better. A lot better. Okay.
I've got to tell you guys something, and you've already seen it. But the first meeting we had with each other was about 18 months before we funded the project. So literally 18 months.
That's right.
We worked together until we figured out the best path forward. But I'll never forget the first time they came and saw me. They were so prepared and so passionate about the to compass.rclfms.com. That's our address. You will have an opportunity to answer 9 questions to tell us where you are in your business currently. And we'll give you a plan based on that. You can put your business plan in here and it saves it as you're working on it. So you can always come back and work with your coach on your business plan. You can also use this cash flow statement for existing revenue and expenses, but also for projections. Very important for projections. And with Matheson Hardware, with Amazing Daycare, Childcare, we had to go back and forth sending PDFs to each other. We don't have to do that anymore because all of that can be saved in real time here and we can back and forth those numbers together. It's made a huge difference already. We'll continue to make a bigger difference in the future. At the top, you'll see there are several categories, and the middle one is Discover. So if you click on the Discover tab, it's going to take you to over 200. Out with a bang, we had over 300, kid you not, 300 commercial loan applications in 2 months. Wow. So we're kind of drowning right now, but that's okay. That's a good problem to have. We'll continue to grow. Thankful for the opportunities in Alabama. Thankful for the continued opportunities in North City. All right, questions from anybody before we go? Told you I'd let you guys go by 8 o'clock.